You're listening to the Booze and Bloodshed podcast.
Here we are. Here we are again. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, Leah.
Hi.
What you doing?
Oh my gosh.
Back for another week of Booze and Bloodshed.
Of course.
Yeah. So we're going to do that little break thing and be right back. Yeah, we're back. I'm still not sure why we do that, you know?
What? The break thing?
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, well, we'll keep on doing it, I guess.
Well, I like the music, so.
Yes, it's nice. It's very nice. Very nice. And it's over. It's very over.
I'm Leah.
Hey, I'm Brandon, and this is the Booze and Bloodshed podcast.
We are so happy that y'all have chosen to join us this morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be listening from. As always, we are here to dish and discuss all things boozy and bloody. True crime and or horror movies will be our focus every week, along with an alcoholic beverage that we think will pair well with the subject of each episode. Today, we will be talking about Skrewball, peanut butter whiskey, and the Chris Watts murder case.
Skrewball, peanut butter whiskey, and some Chris Watts murder case.
Yes.
And Booze and Bloodshed.
Watts and whiskey.
So, what?
Watts and whiskey.
Watts and whiskey. I thought I was getting tongue twisted, but it was right.
Yes.
So this one was actually, we said in the very beginning that this was a beverage that we thought would choose, but I think somebody else chose this for us, didn't they?
Yes. So a model that I work with, because I'm a photographer, she's a photographer. The last photo shoot that I had with her, I've worked with her quite a few times. Her name is Juliana, and she's so super pretty, the sweetest girl ever.
Juliana.
She showed up to the session and brought me that as like a Valentine's Day gift. So I've had this for quite a few weeks now, but I told her that we wouldn't open that until we did it on our podcast. So we're christening the bottle today.
Crispening, whatever.
Yes.
Skrewball peanut butter whiskey.
Yes.
This is not the first time I've had this, and I'll tell you my story with this beverage goes back a long time. About half a year ago. No, it was about a year ago. Whatever.
That's a long time.
This is when, so I was introduced to this stuff by Ron. Good old Ron, rest in peace, buddy. We miss you.
Oh, I thought that was Jeff.
No. Okay, so Ron, for some reason, we had this craving for oysters on a half shell.
Ew.
And so he invited me out to Pier 101. Is it Pier 101?
Yeah.
Pier 101 in Rockwall. And he's like, man, let's go have some oysters on a half shell there. They have Rockefeller, all that stuff. So we're there, and we're about probably 3 orders in. And he's like, dude, have you ever heard of Skrewball? I'm like, yeah. Sitting next to one, but no, stupid joke.
Oh, my God.
And
so cheesy.
It was cheesy. And he goes, you have to try it. It's peanut butter whiskey. And I said, who drinks peanut butter whiskey? It doesn't even sound like it goes together very well.
It sounds like it would be really gross, like really sickly sweet.
Could you imagine drinking a peanut butter Garrison Brothers? I can't imagine that. So they poured me a little shot of it, and I tasted it, and I'm like, holy shit. This tastes just like
peanut butter
whiskey.
Yeah.
And so this is a 750 milliliter bottle, 70 proof, which is basically 35% alcohol. So when you have your proof, you just divide it in half. That tells your alcohol.
So all you whole bottle wine drinkers could probably put this down.
Wine drinkers? Well, this is probably a little bit stronger.
It's in the same size bottle is what I'm saying.
Oh, I almost dropped it. So yeah. So we're doing peanut butter whiskey. And I guess, do you want to just go for it? Because we don't really have anything else to describe. How else do you describe peanut butter whiskey?
It just literally tastes like, and it's not like a fake, because you know how sometimes like you taste things that are supposed to taste like a flavor, like, you know, like banana Laffy Taffies don't actually taste like a banana. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's
like
not.
It's like that really gross artificial flavor.
Yes.
This is not that way. This is like very Like that, almost like that dry on the back of your palate peanut butter taste. It tastes just like it. It's weird.
I wondered if there's a peanut butter flavoring thing out there. It's called PB2, which is powdered peanut butter. Mm-hmm. And I wondered if they, because some breweries use that to give peanut butter flavor in their beer. But this does say, this comes with a warning label too, by the way.
I have yet to have a peanut butter beer. I don't know what I would think about that.
They're out there like a peanut butter stout. Lakewood does one.
Oh, yeah, I've had that one.
It's okay, but this comes with a warning label, and it says contains peanuts. So.
Oh well, no shit.
Yeah.
Does it really?
Mm-hmm. Smart ass. So here we go. Let's go ahead and give it the old sniff.
Oh my God. Every single episode. If this ever turns into something that like we're going to start selling merch and shit for, like we're going to make you a hat that says a little sniff.
A little sniff. What you have to do when you smell this at first, did you ever have those squares, peanut butter squares that were white with like brown pinstripes on them? And they taste just like
I have no idea what you're talking about.
They tasted just like this smells.
It almost smells like it would be really sweet gross, but it's not. It's so good.
I hadn't even tasted it yet.
Well, I haven't tasted it yet either, but I've had it before.
But we know.
But we've tasted this before.
We know.
It's been a long time since we've had it though.
It has. That's when we came back and all this lock-in coronavirus shit.
Yeah, so like a year ago.
And then Jeff was like, I need to figure out where to get some.
Oh yeah.
And that's when he made the peanut butter,
like the shake with this.
So downstairs we had this. No, the bottle was given to us, but we had that Godiva chocolate liqueur, and that's what
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so he mixed this with Godiva and who knows what other.
Is that why you bought that?
Is it? Probably.
I don't know. You got that so long ago. I forgot that you had it.
I think it's the same thing. We had it delivered because we wanted to try it, and we never did, and it's still sitting there a year later. Probably not good. Probably is. We'll see.
It might be.
Okay, I'm gonna give this a try now.
Okay.
Leah's already downed hers.
No, I haven't even tasted it yet. Shut up.
Let's see. That is crazy.
It is. That was like the loudest sniff I've ever heard in the entire world. Oh my gosh.
That good. Was funny. But anybody that's a whiskey drinker is probably not going to be into this.
I don't know.
But maybe so.
Well,
here's the weird thing. For me, it's very sweet and peanut buttery, and it doesn't have an afterburn at all. Well, no. Very little.
But you say people that drink whiskey normally probably wouldn't like this, but Troy does that. Remember that chocolate whiskey stuff? Was it rum or was it whiskey that he gave us?
That was, I think that might have been rum. Taste that after you take a sip of the peanut butter. After you take a sip of the peanut butter.
Oh my God.
You're doing it wrong. It's good. Yeah. And then, yeah, I already have one of those. I
don't know what I'm doing. It's already hitting.
It complements that real well.
But you know what? That's actually kind of why I picked the ones that I brought up here, because this is...
Does that work with it too?
Well, this is banana. So banana and peanut butter, and then like a chocolate peanut butter.
Can I try?
Yes.
I'm going to try that one real quick. And we'll tell you in a second what we're doing. So let's get the Skrewball first.
Oh my gosh. You are all about...
Oh my God, that's good.
Is it really?
Have you not tried it?
No.
Dude, it's
You
good.
were doing the same thing that you just made fun of me for.
Try it.
Handing that to me.
Oh, that's good.
Oh my God. You're so like enthusiastic about it. I feel like this is about to turn into a disappointment.
I liked it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's
Try
so
it.
good.
You're making fun of me. It's really good though. It works very well together. Almost better than what I have. Good call.
Ooh.
That's cool.
Damn, that is good.
So here's what happened is
what we're doing.
We're drinking Skrewball for sure. And then I got a beer, which, I'll just go ahead and say what it is. It's Martin House Fully Enlightened Buddha, which is the Imperial Stout. And Leah has...
Allstat Hefeweizen.
So this works really well with the Hefeweizen. Like you said, it was a peanut butter
banana.
And the banana. Mm-hmm. And it works better than, I think, this.
I don't know. I think yours is pretty good, too.
We should call that an Elvis.
An Elvis.
A peanut butter banana sandwich.
But you know what I actually really like about this peanut
gonna
butter
get drunk.
whiskey. You know what I like about this peanut butter whiskey is the fact that like it's so good to just sit here and sip on it by itself, which I am not a whiskey drinker, so that to me is like a compliment because I just can't sit there and drink whiskey straight. But I could straight with that, but it almost seems like it'd be a really good mixer too. I mean, obviously because we've started to do that here, but you know what I mean?
Have you ever had an Irish car bomb?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm picturing a pint glass of Hefeweizen, dropping this in the pint glass and drinking like an Irish car bomb.
Ooh, that would be bomb.
So
no pun intended. Bomb is like my word.
I'm sure it's already out there.
Yeah.
But I bet you
That'd be
drop
good.
that in a pint of Hefeweizen. Oh, that was badass. Or Imperial Stout, but I think that Hefeweizen if somebody's tried that, let us know. If you haven't, let us know.
Yeah.
What's the email address? boozeandbloodshed@gmail.com.
Yes.
So let us know if you have anything else that we should try, but let
Any
us know what you
mixer
think.
ideas.
Yeah, let us know what you think about this too, because I wasn't too overly thrilled about the idea of trying this time. This is great.
It really is. It's good.
Ass.
You're just so like emphatic about it.
It is so good. That one's blowing me away.
This is fantastic.
It's so good. This is awesome. The Hefeweizen is the one that's blowing me away. I would not have picked that one out. So
Well, that's why I did pick it.
good call. I'm gonna do another ship. Give a sniff and a
But
drink.
really, I mean, taste wise, there's not a whole lot to it. It's just peanut butter. I mean, I don't taste any kind of other flavor profile in there. Do you?
No, whiskey and peanut butter. It is what it is. And that's really good.
It is.
Good stuff, man. So we are pretty happy with Skrewball. Good job, Skrewball.
Mm-hmm. We'll be sipping on that for sure throughout this entire thing.
Are you going to? Really?
Yes,
For
I
sure?
am. There is not that much left in here.
I'm kind of feeling it a little bit.
I didn't even give you that much.
Yeah, you did. Okay.
Well, I didn't because it's whiskey, so I was like, oh, this is going to be really strong. And so I've only poured a little bit in there, and now it's like I could drink like probably half that bottle.
I'm serious. I think when we're done with this, we're going to go downstairs and try the dropping it in a pint glass. I want to try that.
We can. I don't care.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway.
This is entertaining.
So anyway, why we're here, we are going to be talking about Chris Watts and the murder of his family. This to me is
His wife, 2 kids, and 1 unborn kid.
his pregnant wife. Yeah, this is to me is just such a sad case because I just can't. I mean, I don't have kids, but I can't imagine doing something like that.
It is sad, and this is actually one I know a little bit about because you're like, we need to watch the story of Chris Watts. I'm thinking, damn, I don't want to watch this, but this story is so freaking sad.
It's extremely sad, and I don't.
And jacked up.
I just, well, yes, I don't think anybody can wrap their mind around it. And then when you really think about like how fast everything happened from like what kind of like provoked him thinking about starting to do that and all of that, like the time span was like 2 months.
So 2 months of the total time frame? That was quick.
2 months because he met his, I guess you would call her his mistress in June. And then he killed his family in August. Over her.
And so, okay, we'll go ahead and start into it because I'll have questions now as we go.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so to start off, the family was, so Chris and Shanann, I always want to say Shannon. Chris and Shanann were, I guess they met in North Carolina. They were both from North Carolina. And I think that's right. Maybe it's South Carolina, but I think it's North.
One of the Carolinas.
One of the Carolinas. And so anyway, they met, dated, got married, and then they ended up moving to Frederick, Colorado. Chris, after they moved there, ended up getting a job at a petroleum company, and Shanann was working at one of those companies like Herbalife. I think it was called Thrive, the one that she worked for, and she seemed to be pretty successful in that.
Was she the big social media person before they met already, or did she get into it after they got married?
I don't know.
Me either.
Everything that we've ever watched or read about it seemed like it was mostly about her kids or her business. So I mean, I would assume after they had kids and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, because they were showing video of the wedding and things
lots
like
of
that.
videos. Oh, well, that's true.
Lots of videos and lots of text messages that are like, I know that she was killed and her kids were killed and he was an ass, but she kind of came across as a little bit of a bitch.
Well, oh, that's terrible.
A little bit she did.
Well, and there were a lot of people that said that after the fact because they just didn't believe that he had done it. And then if they did believe that he did it, they were basically saying that she deserved it, which I think is just absolutely horrific. Like, if you can't stand somebody, just divorce them. You know?
Just get the hell away. Absolutely. So be that whatever it is, even if she is a bitch, did not constitute killing her and the kids.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. I just wondered if she was into the social media thing beforehand.
I don't know. After you said that wedding comment, that kind of makes me wonder because I really didn't even think about that. But she always portrayed in text messages and videos like how he was like the sweetest guy ever and the best dad ever. And they really emphasized that at the beginning of that American Murder documentary on Netflix.
I mean, from what I saw, I agree. But you know what else? She had swings. Like, one minute he's the best thing ever, he's the best dad. The next minute he's so neglecting and he's such an a-hole.
Well, that started happening after he had met his mistress. So she started catching on to the fact that he was kind of withdrawing from their relationship.
So he met the mistress how long after they were married, or do we know?
I think they had been married 7 or 8 years, or at least together 7 or 8 years.
They were showing video of him. He looked like it was a normal guy. Mm-hmm. During the investigation, they were talking a lot about how he was doing the workouts a lot and how he was trying to look better, eat better.
Yes.
But it looked like he was that way when they very first got married, too. So I guess more so than typical.
Well, but remember, we're kind of like going all over the place with this because we're thinking of different things that were said. But remember when he was talking to...
So I say sorry every episode too. So
remember when he was talking to investigators and they were saying they were trying to like get him to admit that he was having an affair because he was like, "Oh, I never cheat on my wife," and then that guy that was talking to him was like, "Oh, I noticed in old pictures that you used to be like heavier."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, I used to weigh 245 pounds and
they're like, "Yeah,
I lost weight recently." And they're like, "Well, usually if a guy does that, it means, they're having an affair. They're trying to impress somebody else."
No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to jump ahead.
No, I mean, you can kind of talk about this kind of whenever.
Finally.
Yes. So anyway, prior to the murders, so he met his mistress, who was Nicole. Shit, what was her name?
Nicole. You just said Nicole.
Nicole, I know, but her last name I can't remember. I think it's Kessinger.
Okay.
Nicole, I think it's Kessinger. Well, anyway, he met her in June. He met her at his job.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was like a trainer or something.
No, he met her at his job. I don't know what she was doing exactly. Maybe she was a secretary or something. But
she was doing him.
Why? Like,
that's true. It is true.
So anyway, they started talking and things like that. But they started talking at the beginning of June. By the end of June, they started to have a physical relationship. What's really sad about that entire thing is during that same month, Shanann told him that she was pregnant with their third kid. So he found out when he was starting to have an affair with somebody, he found out that he was going to have another kid with his wife.
And he found out because she documented this on her social media thing that she wore a t-shirt that says, "Whoops, we did it again."
And in the video, he looks like so happy about it, which is so weird.
I don't know. I think it was more like happy, but oh fuck at the same time. Like it was
really.
It was awkward to watch.
Was it?
Oh my gosh!
I didn't see it that way, but maybe just because I'm kind of oblivious. I don't know. But anyway, so
peanut butter. I can't. Okay.
And then July starts to roll around and Chris starts to have a physical relationship with Nicole Kessinger. And then at one point he was allegedly seeing her at least 5 times a week. Which, how do you even get away with that?
Well, because they're at work. They work together. What were they going to lunch and, you know?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I guess they did work together. I didn't even think about that, but I took that as like he was seeing her outside of work.
It did seem like that. It seemed like did she travel a lot it seemed like she was away from the house a lot.
They went on trips together, I know.
Well, it just seemed like that she was gone a lot, and it seemed like he was messing around a lot, and she was completely oblivious to all of this stuff.
Are you talking about Nicole or Shanann?
I'm talking about Nicole was oblivious to them because I thought she may be gone a lot.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
No, wait. Nicole's the mistress.
Yes.
Sorry. I thought Shanann may be oblivious because it seemed like she's gone a lot.
I mean,
who knows?
Yes and no. Well, in July, she went on vacation, remember, to visit their families with their kids.
Mm-hmm. And he wasn't texting her.
And her and the kids were gone for 6 weeks.
And that's when he started talking to his mistress and stuff at that time.
Yeah, and he started going on trips and stuff with her.
And that's when she starts texting her friend all this weird, bipolar, weird stuff.
That to me was, I know it was part of like the background to the case and everything, but I feel like text messages like that should have been kept private. Like, I don't think that should have been included in a documentary. You know what I mean?
No, I think it should have been because that builds the case.
I don't know.
It builds two cases. One, it shows how freaking unstable she kind of was. And two, it builds another case, the fact that, well, he's kind of an asshole.
Well, but I don't know. Think about it. She was pregnant and she's married to this guy and already has 2 kids with him. I mean, that'd be kind of scary to be like, why is he not talking to me? Why is he like withdrawing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was so passive aggressive. I guess you wouldn't know because you're not going to text me or answer my text. It's like, come on. What are you, 5? Anyway,
well, that's true. I mean, if you've been married to somebody for that long.
I'm jumping all over the place again. I'm the person that jumps everywhere. My bad.
But while she was on vacation, well, I don't know. Maybe this was happening the entire time that he was kind of having this little thing with Nicole. He had been telling her that he and Shanann were about to finalize their divorce. And then a little bit later on, he told her that they were divorced, that they finalized it.
Okay, so he was lying to his mistress.
Yes.
And his wife was completely oblivious that he was doing this. Now Shanann is pregnant. He's still cheating.
Yes.
And now we're at she's on a trip.
Yes.
And he's obviously shagging his mistress while she's gone.
Yes.
Shagging is, I don't know.
Are you Austin Powers?
Right. So what happens after this? She's texting him and she's basically saying, you haven't texted us the entire time we've been gone.
Yeah, like you haven't checked on us. Like, basically, do you even give a shit?
So I think this is where everything's starting to
kind of decline.
Happen, yeah.
Well, decline and accelerate at the same time.
Right.
So, while Shanann and the kids were gone, Chris was having like overnight trips and like hanging out with Nicole and shit like that. And I kept thinking the entire time, and they touch base on this later on in the documentary and all that, and they let you know if you read up on the case. I was actually thinking the entire time, like, y'all share bank accounts, don't you? Like, you and your wife. So, like, I would think that she would be able to see that y'all were staying somewhere and doing things out of town. And
I don't think that's the case. I wonder. No, it's not. Either that or he had another account because he said at the end, before he killed him, and I guess we'll get there, I'm jumping ahead, that he said he didn't care at that point if she saw a transaction in their account.
Well, that was when they came back in town and him and her went to dinner. Because remember, she went back out of town. She went on some kind of like retreat. Yeah,
and he was like, I don't care if she sees it. So obviously he was covering it somehow. Like maybe he had another account. They didn't say one way or the other, I don't think.
I just thought that was so bizarre. And I don't know. I just thought that was really weird. But anyway, he flew out on July 31st to see Shanann and the kids in North Carolina and spend a few days, I think like a week with them so he could fly back with them.
Yeah, he flies out there
yes.
And she's basically like, let me know when you come down the jetway or whatever. The kids want to see you, all that stuff. And they did the whole passive aggressive, you hadn't texted me thing. And then am I ahead again?
No.
And then he's like, no, baby, I love you. I miss you, whatever. Let me know when you come down the jetway. Kids want to see you. Kids run up to him.
Did that come across to you like he didn't really even like his kids? It was very almost like hands off, and it's like if you hadn't. It
looked like it was an act.
If you haven't seen your kids in like 6 weeks, and they're little bitty kids, I mean they're cute, They're your kids. Like, wouldn't you be a little bit more excited to see them after that long? I would think.
Yeah. And well, when you could tell that he really didn't want to be messing with her.
Yeah.
And she was texting her friend again, talking about in the video, it didn't show him kiss her. It seemed very standoffish, like he didn't want to be around her.
Yeah.
She said that he did, but like you could tell there was like a little something going on there that like he just didn't want to be there with her. The kids, yeah, but not with her. And so onward we go, I guess. I don't know. I got the impression that he didn't want to be there, period. Yeah. And now they're both in North Carolina or wherever they're
Yes.
at.
And so they spent the remainder of that week there. And actually, before he even got there, there was an incident with his mom and their youngest daughter.
Yeah.
About how his mom had bought some kind of ice cream that their youngest daughter, Celeste, couldn't eat because she was allergic to a bunch of stuff in it or something.
Yeah.
And so she like freaked out on him. Shenanigans. Like it was his fault.
Text him like, you need to have a talk with your parents about almost, did you say something like almost killing her kid or something about their health? It was.
Yeah, like she doesn't care. She doesn't care about endangering her kid or something like that.
It was so overreacting. Like, I mean, your kid, I don't know what kind of condition the kid had. I don't think you're going to die from eating ice cream. I don't know. But it was so, obviously I'm not a huge fan of this woman, or him either, but she was so passive aggressive with everything. It's like, I can imagine she was fucking annoying to be around sometimes.
I'm sure she was.
I do have some compassion, but I don't think I would be like, F this.
Well, and his parents I don't know if it was just his parents. I think it was his whole family, because I know his sister didn't go either, but they didn't go to their wedding.
And they didn't go to her birthday party after that whole incident,
after that
right?
whole ice cream thing, yeah.
Was the birthday party in North Carolina, or was that back home in
That
Tennessee?
was in North Carolina.
Okay.
So that was while they were still out there.
Yeah, and it's just like passive aggressive texting him. And while they're there, they go to the beach, do things together. She's texting her friend, he hasn't touched me. It's very weird that we haven't had sex at least once a week or once every 2 weeks or something. It's been 30 days.
Well, but even during then, she was thinking that it was because she wasn't getting along with his parents. Remember? Because she told her friend, she goes, well, I think he's mad because, I got in that fight with his mom.
Yeah, over stupid shit.
And it's like...
But okay.
Because she was like, well, nothing else is wrong. And I just felt like saying, like, somebody needs to shake you.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just...
Really, though, if the relationship is that bad, it's not because you got in a fight with his mom.
Anybody listening to this, our huge fan base, if it's that bad, get the fuck out. This is stupid this is child's play. The stuff she was doing, she was playing games. I'm not saying it constitutes a murder.
No.
I'm just saying it's just bullshit.
Well, you see it from a man's perspective. I see it from a woman's perspective. I don't see... I
even
can
with
see...
her pissed off moments,
I
you're not
can
like
see
that.
his side a little bit of being like annoyed, not like, oh, I'm gonna murder her.
This is kind of funny though, because you're seeing her side and I'm seeing his side.
I don't see how you see his side fully. I don't.
I'm not saying that what he did was right. It was wrong. But I think she was a little overbearing. Like,
well, yeah,
and that pushes somebody away. Like if you're that bad, like fuck, I don't want to be around you. And I think that's where he was.
I know.
Not to kill you, but like, and I'm not saying that constitutes also cheating on somebody, but like, I
think I see her side of it because again, she's been married to this guy, already has 2 kids with him, and she's pregnant.
And she's probably been this way the entire marriage. Okay, well.
Oh my God.
So they were in North Carolina. They went to the beach, birthday party. She got in a fight with the parents. She texted him passive aggressive stuff saying, you need to have a talk with your mom. Or did she say something like, I don't want to be around them anymore? Or I don't want the kids to be around them anymore? Something like that?
She said, like, I don't want to see them again.
Yeah. So I'm sure that didn't help things either, but...
When I saw that like little excerpt of her conversation with her friend that said that, I'm like, you're married to the guy. Like, you're not expecting this to end really anytime soon. So you're not going to see his family again.
Yeah.
Like, it's just unrealistic and it's weird. I think the whole thing was just weird.
It was like she would take stabs and then she would be like, you're a great father.
Yeah.
Take stabs. You're a great, the kids love you. Their kids think you're their hero. They sing the song. take stabs. And it's like she's playing these games, and I'm not taking his side, but it's just, I just think it was a little bit, I don't know. I kind of see his side a little bit. I see hers too, but I see her being a freaking nag, and nobody wants to be around that type of person.
Well, I think regardless, like even if she had started being nice to him fully all the time after that, I think he still would have done it.
I think his decision was made years ago that he just didn't want to be around her anymore.
I don't know.
I think that's what happened. Here's my thing. I think that this happened mentally in his head years ago. And he didn't want to be around her. He was tired of being around her. He was stuck with her because of kids. Now she's pregnant with another kid. He's stuck with her longer. And she's nagging the shit out of him. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this?
This is an extremely pessimistic point of view of this. I don't think he thought about this years ago. Good God.
I do. I think she pushed him away so far because she's such a social media person. She's texting everybody. I'll stop because I sound like I don't want to.
You're very strongly opinionated on this lady.
It's just, she didn't come across very favorable to me in this documentary.
Obviously, every time we've seen it or talked about this case, you're always like, "Oh my God."
I'm a dude.
I know, but okay. So anyway, while they were on vacation, Nicole Kessinger, his mistress, the investigators had, I guess, after the fact and everything, looked at her cell phone data. She was looking up a bunch of weird shit, like. She had, on August 4th, 2018, she had been looking at wedding dresses for 2 hours.
Well, she thought they were getting divorced.
You're going to immediately marry somebody that just got divorced?
I don't know.
That is like crazy.
I mean, it's something people do.
I think that's nuts. I mean, to each his own, I guess, but I'm not going to fucking do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But during the trip that Shanann was on with Chris, she becomes increasingly upset with the state of their relationship, and she was texting a friend that she was hurt and suspicious of the fact that Chris did not seem remotely interested in having sex with her the entire vacation. Didn't touch her, nothing. We already talked about this. But.
Yeah, and then she's saying stuff like, he won't even fuck me.
Oh, God. Like, I just cannot imagine saying something like that to anybody. Like, I would never say that to somebody.
I'm not going to say what I want to say.
What?
I'm not going to say it. It's just another one of those pesky pushy things that she did.
A pesky pushy thing?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Go ahead. Keep on going.
A pesky pushy thing with her friend?
She just that passive aggressiveness really just bothers me. I think because I know more about this case than I do with anything else that we've talked about.
That's true.
It's because it's just, it bothers me.
I think your knowledge of this case is based solely on the fact that you can't stand her.
And the fact that I watched the documentary.
So you listen to everything.
30 times, I think. We've watched the documentary.
We have only seen it twice. We saw it once, like the day it came out, and then we watched it 2 days ago.
I retained it.
Good. Good.
And it's still got the
same.
About
time you retained something.
That's nice. I retained it because she was so damn annoying.
Am I passive aggressive? I freaking hope not. If this is how you feel about passive aggressive people.
God.
Okay, so on August 9th, 2018, after they had gotten back from their trip to North Carolina, Shanann leaves for Arizona for a work-related trip for her, Thrive business. He said she worked for Thrive, but everything I've been reading is she worked for this company called Level.
I don't know anything about either one of those.
I was about to say, the glazed look in your eye really shows that you have no idea what I'm talking about.
It could also be the Skrewball.
But before leaving, she texted one of her friends that her and Chris had their best, quote, best talk yet, unquote, about their relationship.
Okay. Yeah,
you have no input on that.
I have no input on that one.
And then on August 11th, while Nicole was out of town, Chris hired a babysitter to go watch the kids while he went to a bar with Nicole. They went to, I think, Lazy Dog, didn't they? I think that's what they said.
I don't remember the bar that they went either.
I think it was Lazy Dog. And he had what was it? It was like somewhere between $40 to $60 tab. And that's how she was
and then he had to get cash on the way home for the babysitter, and they stopped at that convenience store.
Well, but she saw that transaction at Lazy Dog and told her friend while she was on the trip, like, what the fuck? How did he spend that by himself? Like, there's no way.
Yeah, like $60 or something like that.
Yeah. And so
I can spend that by myself
she
easy.
even went like as far as to look at Lazy Dog's menu to see how he could have spent that money. Which this isn't funny because I mean she died and everything, but like that is so nuts to me.
Yeah.
I think I'm just the kind of person that if I strongly feel like that's happening behind my back, like I'm just gonna not even bother. I'm just gonna be like, hey, what's up here?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Instead of looking at a menu. If
I went to, look, if I wanted to go somewhere, I could spend $60 on myself easy on food and beer and liquor or whatever. I could spend that easy. So I don't know why she got so suspicious of that, but but she seems to be suspicious of everything.
Well,
suspicious. She's not suspicious.
Oh my God.
She's not suspicious.
But on August 13th, Shanann's friend, they were coming home from that trip together, and her friend dropped her off at her house at 2 a.m. And that was the last time anybody, obviously besides Chris, saw her alive. Yeah,
the front porch camera caught her walking in from the trip, and that's when she walked in and walked up, and I guess she went upstairs to go to bed, and they had their conversation or something happened like that?
Well, I don't even know if they had a conversation, but later when he was talking to investigators, he said like they had sex or something, like when she got home. And I was like, if I was on a plane for so many hours and I'm getting home at 2 a.m, like that is not what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah. And see, so here's the thing.
Maybe that's just me.
The story. Yeah. Fuck that. I'm going to sleep. Here's the thing where I think there are two different stories here. She goes upstairs and they have whatever. Isn't there one story that says he has already smothered his kids at this point?
Where did we hear that?
I don't know.
Because you and I both remember that, and we watched something, but it wasn't on that documentary. We watched it somewhere else.
Yeah, that said that his kids were smothered before she got home, and then
he thought that he had killed them.
Yeah, and they weren't dead yet or something like that. Or that one of them, he didn't do it all the way.
He thought that he had killed them, and he, for some reason, went back in there or something, and they weren't dead. Yeah,
and so he and his wife have had sex or whatever they did. And then...
But I don't know if that happened before she got home or after he had done it to her. I don't know.
Well, because
I don't remember where we saw that.
They got into a fight, and he basically said... I think this was kind of the next morning, because he said he was thinking about it all night long. Mm-hmm. And that they got into a fight. He said, I'm done. This is it. I'm over, whatever. And she's like, you're not getting the kids. You'll never see your kids again.
Well, yes. And that was the next morning. That wasn't that night.
Oh, okay.
That was when he was going to get up and go to work, allegedly.
And so are we at that point now with the story or whatever?
Yeah. So the morning of the killing.
So they get into a fight. He says, I'm done with you, whatever. She says, you're never getting your kids again, which I totally knew that she was going to pull that card. And then he basically chokes her and suffocates her, and she's laying face down on the bed, and one of the kids comes down and says, Daddy, what's wrong with Mommy? God,
that made me so sad when he said that she said that.
And so, and I'm not sure which one, or if one of them were already dead at this point, the kids.
No, they weren't, because he didn't kill them officially until he took them to get rid of them.
So that's the next thing. So there's a neighbor next door.
Yes, who had a camera.
They had a camera. Mm-hmm. The cops went to their house to ask them, questions. The neighbor had videos of him backing into his driveway. But
it wasn't like a clear shot, so all you saw was like the lights of his car. So like you couldn't see what he was doing.
Mm-mm. No, and then Chris was there with the cop talking as the guy was showing video, and Chris was acting really freaking weird.
I do have something to say on that. I saw a post one day, and it was probably on one of my true crime Facebook groups. No way. Somebody had pointed out that, how like he's getting his camera footage pulled up on his TV. Mm-hmm. So if you watch that documentary, that American Murder,
he's on his phone the whole time.
The first thing that pops up on the TV is a picture of a baby inside a womb.
Oh, yeah.
Have I already told you about this?
No, but I saw that. I remember that.
And then, like, the very next thing is a skull that's in oil. on the TV. If you watch that, you'll see it. It's like the top of a skull, like you see like the face of the skull, and it has like oil all over it.
I never noticed that.
I didn't either until somebody pointed that out, and I was
that's
like,
weird.
Yeah, and so I was watching that the other night because I was like, I have to see if that's actually what it was, and it's on there. How creepy is that?
That is creepy. I want to look at that and just
it's weird.
See. So the guy told the cop, he's like, dude, this guy's acting freaking weird. He never talks this much. He never acts like that. He's very weird. He's fidgety. He's acting weird. And you see the truck back up. Well, apparently he wrapped her up in a blanket or the bed.
Yes.
Put her in the back of the truck. Yeah. And one of the kids is like, Daddy.
On the floorboard. And he put his kids back there with her.
And the kid's like, Daddy, is Mommy going to be okay? What's wrong with Mommy? He said, she's going to be okay.
Ugh.
But I don't know if both of them were alive at that time or just one of the kids.
They both were. They were both alive.
Okay. So he drives, an hour and a half out to the oil fields where he worked? I think
he said like 45 minutes to an hour. And he said like, and this is what's even worse, is he said that he was thinking during that drive, or I guess maybe after the fact, like I had so much time to just not do this basically to the kids, because he had already killed Shanann. Like that was too late. But like I could have stopped myself from doing that, and I just did it anyway. It's like, you are horrible.
So they drove out to the oil field. He buried Shanann in the ground.
Yeah,
but he took
in
the
like
kids
a really shallow grave, it looked like,
and then put the kids in the oil tank. One of them, apparently the youngest one, didn't fight or anything. She just kind of went along with it, went through with it, and he put her in, I think, an 8-inch opening.
Yeah, it wasn't very big.
And then the oldest one was like, Daddy, don't do this, or whatever. And then he put her in there, and then...
It makes me so sick to my stomach every time I heard how he would say, like, I just hear her saying that every time, like...
Yeah, just
I get up every day. Like, I just hear her saying that. I'm like, you are the worst person ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he put her in there, put the kids in there, and he drove back home. And the cops...
well, the one who set the fire alarm on this whole entire thing, I don't know if she's the one that went on the trip with her, but that her friend, Nicole, her name's Nicole Atkinson. She called the cops around almost about 2 o'clock, about 1:40 in the afternoon. And she was worried. She reported her missing, I guess, because she was worried because Shanann never responded to her that day, like text, calls, nothing. Mm-hmm. And then she didn't go to
her appointment,
like her OB-GYN visit or something.
Yeah.
And I guess that just wasn't like her to miss something like that and to just not respond at all. So and it looked like her son, Nicole's Atkinson's son, went over to her house, and a cop showed up, one cop, and then they called Chris, I guess. They finally got in the house. The cop couldn't enter the residence, so they had to find somebody that had access to the residence to get in. Her friend called Chris. Yeah. And Chris comes over and he's like, I don't know where she's at. And he is just acting like people are... It's almost like people aren't even suspicious of him, except that one neighbor. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you think she's missing, and you're not even like questioning him that hard. He's acting like a total freaking guilty weirdo. Yeah. I thought.
But we already knew he was guilty beforehand.
Oh, so I guess that's true.
So they start. This is the start of it all.
Yes, and he said that Shanann told him that she was going to a friend's house, but then that's all he said, and then he wouldn't say like who it supposedly was or anything like that. Just being very vague about it.
Yeah, and when they were there, the cop was looking through the house, and they showed the bedroom, and the sheets and the bedspread were gone. Yeah. And I don't think anybody even asked about that, did they?
You know what I would have thought immediately if I was that cop? I'm going to go look in the laundry room, and if that shit's not in the laundry room, this motherfucker killed her.
That's why you're not in law enforcement.
I would be the cop, the judge, and the jury on that shit.
In the same day. Same day, same time.
I would. But anyway, so August 15th, they brought Chris in for questioning, and they gave him a polygraph test, which he failed. And the polygraph administrator, I guess I don't really even know what you would call her, like the polygraph person, she told him several times beforehand, like, if you are lying, we are going to know. So it would be really stupid if you were here. And then he just took the test anyway.
So this is when the polygraph started after all that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lied his ass off, and she's basically saying, "Dude, look, there's two of us in this room.
Like, you might as well just be honest instead of wasting our time doing this."
And when they started the polygraph, she's like, "Dude, you're jumping all over the charts. Like, I can't even do this because you're freaking out." He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just nervous."
And then they still freaking continue with it. I'd be like, "Yo."
Yeah, and well, they did do it. She asked questions about the mistress, if he was cheating. Mm-hmm. She asked questions if he had anything to do with her disappearance. And he basically failed the polygraph, and she got up after it was over, and she's like, "Look, you failed the polygraph."
Yeah, and they brought that other investigator in that had been talking to him before anyway.
Yeah, and that's when they started asking him all these questions.
And he just like wouldn't admit it, and so finally, he admitted to cheating on her, to them.
Yeah, so he admitted to. Did he admit to the affair first, or did he admit to killing her because she killed the kids?
The affair. So he was saying he didn't do anything. And then he was like, I did cheat on her, but I didn't hurt her. I didn't hurt the kids or anything like that. And then I guess at some point they either called his dad or his dad was already there. I don't know. But they brought his dad in, and he admitted it to his dad that he killed her. But he was saying he was putting all the blame on her as to why he killed her.
Yeah, he told the dad, I killed her, but I killed her because she killed the kids.
He blamed her. It just makes me so mad every time I hear about that.
He blamed her for killing the kids.
Yeah.
But he took responsibility for killing her, but it's because he was angry and he was lashing out for what he did.
Like, it wasn't my fault. I had to do it because she killed my kids kind of thing.
Yes. And this went on for a while.
Yeah, and he kept saying that, and then finally they were like, well, if the kids are dead and she's dead, they finally were just like, well, where'd you put him? Because...
Yeah, you failed the polygraph.
Whatever it is. Like, basically, we don't believe you, so just where'd you put him?
And I think they interrogated him or questioned him for like 7 hours.
Yeah, he was in there a long time.
And that's why he was like, I want to talk to my dad. Like, again, we need to get some affairs in order. He said something like that. Mm-hmm. So they left. The dad came in, and that's when he told the dad. He started off telling the dad she killed him. He stuck with that story for a while.
Yeah, he did.
And they went through another round of
they were basically like pleading with him, like, just tell us what happened. And he never admitted it. He didn't admit completely, I guess, what happened until he was in court.
Mm-hmm. And you know why he admitted it finally?
So he wouldn't get the death sentence.
So he wouldn't get the death penalty. He finally said, like, I killed all of them. What a
fucking narcissist he is.
Yeah. So the entire time he told them, and they even asked, "Are you okay with us telling people that she killed them?" And he's like, "Yeah." So, yeah, to keep from getting the death penalty, he pled guilty of everything. Admitted that he killed the wife and the 2 kids, and obviously the unborn child.
Yes.
And I think he got. I'm not sure how many years he got.
He got 3 life sentences.
3 life sentences for 3 lives.
And that happened in, I think, November. So, like, of the same year. So, like, that was a really quick verdict. It was. Trial and verdict, because everybody knew that he was just completely guilty.
Yeah, and basically that was it. And he went to prison. And here's the thing that really kind of grinds my nerves, too, is the fact that he's in prison now. I don't know, he'll never get out, apparently, or supposedly. And there are people that are writing him in prison. There are women that are throwing themselves at him.
Oh, I know. Like, sending him nude pictures and stuff. Like, that is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
He killed his kids. Like, killed his wife and his kids. What is there redeeming or attractive about that? Yeah, exactly. At all. I don't understand that.
I don't either. But
so this actually says here that the judge issued 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole, including 48 years for unlawful termination of Shanann's pregnancy and 36 years for disposing of the bodies of his family.
So he'll never get out.
No. Oh, no.
Hopefully.
No, he's not going to get out. He doesn't have the possibility of parole. He's not going to get out.
That's I don't know, man. And again, this is probably the most engaged I've been on a topic because I
beat it into your head.
Sorry, yeah, because you wouldn't let me away from it. But it's just the fact that he had a mistress. He killed his kids because he thought he could get a better life, that he could cover it up. And
moral of the story: get divorced.
Just get the fuck out and just, you know what? It sucks, right?
It is.
But life goes on.
It is very, very sad and heartbreaking what he did. I mean, it's bad enough what he did to his wife, but his kids, man, they were so little and so cute, and it was just horrific what he did to them.
And they thought that their dad was their hero.
And I think what's so scary about, I think that to me is scarier than any serial killer, because you are living with this person, you have kids with this person, your kids trust you, they trust you, and you kill them. Like, they were not expecting that to happen at all.
They trusted him all the way to the oil tank, asking, and she's like, please don't do it, and he threw her in there, even though when he had the opportunity not to do it.
Well, he smothered them. Hopefully they weren't alive by the time they got in there. I don't know. I think that's a very good way to say that. They trusted him all the way to the oil tank.
Yeah. It's a sad story.
It is sad.
But I guess that's the end of this episode,
That
right?
is the end of it. That is the Chris Watts case paired with Skrewball peanut butter whiskey, guys.
And if you could think of anything else, you could think of another beverage that we could choose, or you could think of a story, or let us know what you think about this one. Email us back. Let us know, boozeandbloodshed@gmail.com. What's the social media stuff again?
Social media is Instagram @boozeandbloodshed, and you can find the same thing on Facebook.
Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in. Check us next time. But for now, that's the end of this episode. And I guess we'll see you later. So thanks for tuning in. boozeandbloodshed.com. That's not right.
@gmail.com.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time.
Peace.